What's up, everybody? Welcome into the show. It's time for our first video of the day. We're gonna do this. I'm at Isidewith.com. It's a beta in the beta stage apparently. It's a political quiz. It looks like you answer questions, and I guess it like tells you your like where you're on the political spectrum. But yeah, I did some of these the other night. I did a political compass test. Got 18 views. I guess people like that, or people at least watched it. Of like some random YouTuber they don't know, so I guess people are into that. And I did a typology test. I think I had like 4 views, which is interesting because that was outpacing the compass test. It had 4 views, the compass had 3, and then the compass video took off, and the typology video stagnated. YouTube makes no sense. Speaking of making no sense on YouTube, I'm gonna say one more thing, and then we're gonna get into this. Some idiot named Jose subbed to the channel last night just to bully me. Went back for like one of my videos from like, I don't know, months ago, where I was calling this beginning to feel a lot like spring. It was a mental health briefing, which I do as a healthy thing, just to set a good example for young men out there might see my channel, where we need to talk about mental health more, especially people of color. We want to talk, maybe Jose should talk about his more. He sounds like a brown man to me. But went on I'm not going to read his replies because I blocked him from the channel, ready to move on, but I just had to acknowledge it. Sub to my channel just to bully me, leave 3 bullying comments on an old mental health briefing video from earlier this year. And like, why would you, first of all, who does that, just subs to the channel? Like, what a psycho. And I was ready to sub back to him because I do that when I see somebody sub to me. But man, fuck that guy. I hope he stays sub for the analytic. But I blocked him from the channel. He's a loser. And I don't know what you think that's gonna do, trying to bully me. But man, it takes a strong person to be a YouTuber, because you deal with a lot of dumb 30 IQ bullshit. All right, anyways, time to show off my non-30 IQ. You can times that by at least what's the limit on IQ? Times it by at least 4. All right, should the electoral college be abolished? And I know smart people don't talk about IQ. I rarely bring it up. There's at least 9 types of IQ anyways, but I took an IQ test when I got 127, which is a level of like a grad student. Elon Musk says his is 140, which is genius level, so I don't know about all that. If I can do math, I definitely get genius level. So there you go. That gives me a lot of comfort. Should the electoral hey, I take intelligence, I take learning, I take education very seriously. One more thing on intelligence. I Googled yesterday's intelligence genetic. They believe it may be 50 to 80% hereditary. So who the hell was a smart person in my family? Because I'm sure as hell not living with them. I must have had really smart ancestors. Should the electoral college be abolished? Okay, now we're actually getting into the real stuff. Yes, I believe in one man, one vote, and that's the real democracy. They talk about democracy when it's actually a republic. We shouldn't use that word because words should have meaning. And democracy and republic are not the same thing. We live in a representative republic where we send these assholes to Washington to represent us, but we all know they really don't. I'd rather just do my own voting. I'm informed enough. I'm smart enough to vote for myself. I don't need an asshole like Andy Ogles to vote for me. Okay, how important is this issue to you? Very important. Should a photo ID be required to vote? Yes. How is it important to you? Least important. Should foreigners have the right to vote? No. Hell no. So you need to learn about our country first. Prove you love the country. Live here at least about 20 years, I think, before you can vote. How important is it to you? Less. Should the government, like I said in a video yesterday, nothing makes my blood boil more than foreigners trying to lecture the United States and Americans on how to live, or how to engage with our Constitution and Bill of Rights. Should the government increase environmental regulations to prevent climate change? Yes. And it's the most important issue, because without a planet to live on, none of this even matters. Should the U.S. withdraw from? No. Once again, most important issue. Should drilling be allowed? No. Most important issue. I'm 100% on the side of the environment. I'm an environmentalist. Should funding for local police departments be redirected to social and community-based programs? Yes. That's a really important issue to me. I was thinking about this the other day, how they send cops when people are having like mental health, issues or, episodes, and the cop just winds up shooting them because they're not equipped to deal with people. Cops just like, I respect police, but they're not psychologists. That requires an advanced degree. That takes quite some time. Police don't have that. They do great work. They keep us safe, but they're not psychologists. Police should have a psychologist that comes with them on calls for mental health episodes, where they can talk to the person. If the person gets violent, then you bring the cop in. But the cop shouldn't be in there making the person more nervous and anxious. I've been in one of those situations. I'm open and honest on this show. That's why I said, circling back to the mental health briefing thing, I'm a different kind of male, or whatever. I'm a modern man, or whatever. I believe in talking about mental health because I'm an actual human being, and I've been in those situations where I've had a mental health episode or whatever, going through hard time. I think it was around COVID time, 2021 or whatever. Not the only one. Where my parents stupidly called police, but thankfully I live in a quote unquote liberal city where they treated me with kindness and respect. I treated them that way too. But what if I lived in like Arkansas or like New Orleans or like Louisiana or something, and they just were afraid of me because I'm a black man, and they sent a bunch of cops. It's like 5 cops. What if they just said they were afraid, and the guy just accidentally discharges his gun or something, and just shoots me just as he felt like it? You shouldn't send cops when somebody's going through a mental health crisis. That's the word I was looking for, by the way, crisis. It's fucking stupid. You think humanity in 2025, as advanced as we claim to be, or like to fancy ourselves, we have a little more common sense than that. Should police departments be allowed to use military-grade equipment? Fuck no! You don't need that. All you need as a cop is a goddamn revolver and a rifle. Or a revolver, a Glock in on your waist, and a rifle in the trunk. That's all you fucking need. Maybe an assault rifle, whatever word they use for like an AR style rifle, a semi-automatic rifle for when shit gets really real. But you call in the SWAT for that. Cops don't need military grade equipment. This is a bad message. Should drug traffickers receive the death penalty? No. Unless you're going to give it to the CEOs of Bud Light and all those too, because they're drug dealers as well. And the leaders of the pharmaceutical company, are they going to get the death penalty too? I doubt it. So no, I don't agree with that. Should the government incentivize the construction of affordable housing? Are you kidding me? Yes. Who would disagree with that? Should the government implement rent controls? Yes. Should homeless individuals that have refused available shelter or housing be allowed to sleep and camp in public property? Yes. You sleep wherever you want. It's public property. They pay taxes into it at some point. If you pay sales tax, you pay taxes. I don't care if you camp out on government property. No, man, you know what they do in my city? They just made camping illegal and threw out all the homeless people. Who knows where they are? I don't agree with that shit. How about build some housing for them instead of being fucking animals? Should the federal government pay for tuition? Yes. Man, I'm going to be so far to the left. Do you support increased tax on the rich? Yeah, you have me a tax on the rich. In order to reduce interest rates for student loans? Hell yeah. I support just wiping out the student loans, which Joe Biden has the right to do thanks to the Higher Education Act of 1964 or whatever. Should critical race theory be taught in K through 12? Yes. Most important, they should be able to learn the fucking truth about this racist country. This racist, sexist, misogynist country. Should schools be allowed to require mandatory diversity training? Yeah. You should have to go diversity training, especially in the South. These little white kids, they should be forced to go diversity training. So you'll wind up a fucking piece of shit. What is your stance on abortion? You have to force people. You have to expose people to diverse viewpoints and diverse people so they don't wind up a fucking bigot. That's how society works. You can't shelter these people from all types of people. That's how you wind up a piece of trash, contributing nothing to society. That's how you wind up a MAGA guy. What is your stance on abortion? I'm 100% pro-choice to the max. I believe in abortion on demand like in Israel. Should the government continue to fund Planned Parenthood? Yes. It's one of my most passionate issues. Wait, I can see more social questions? Huh? Social issues are the thing I care about the most. Should health insurance providers be required? People talk about the economy and shit. I care about social issues. Should health insurance providers be required to offer free birth control? Hell yeah. Do you support the legalization of same-sex marriage? Yes. Should gender identity be added to anti-discrimination? Are you kidding? Of course. It's hard to click this stuff. More social questions. Should transgender athletes be allowed to compete with athletes? Yes. Should businesses be able to deny service to customers if the request conflicts with the owner's religious beliefs? No. I don't care about your religious beliefs. You have the right. You got to serve everybody. Should the federal government require racial sensitivity training for employees? Yes. Should gay couples have the same adoption rights as straight couples? I want to do like the max social questions. Should gay couples have the same adoption rights as straight couples? Yes. I've seen studies that say gay couples with children, the children are happier than in straight relationships, straight couples or whatever. Should universities provide, and I believe in empirical evidence, should universities provide trigger warnings in safe spaces? I believe in safe spaces, but trigger warnings may be counterintuitive. I read studies that show that they actually have the reverse effect. That my nephew was screaming. He's like running through the upstairs, and my mom's like screaming for him to come back downstairs. So you may have heard that, but yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Should universities provide trigger warnings in a safe space? Okay, I say yes. I don't really care that much about it, though. Should the federal government institute a mandatory buyback of assault weapons? I was talking about assault weapons. How's that a social issue? I guess it is. No. I don't think you should ban any guns. Okay, one more round of social questions. Should people under the age of 18 be able to receive gender transition treatments? What do you mean by treatment? Like medical, like medical intervention, like with like puberty blockers and stuff? I say no. I think you should have to be 18. Should states be allowed to display the Confederate flag? Fuck no. Should businesses be required to have women on their board of directors? No. Like, and I'm all for like DEI, but you should. I'm not. Okay, I'm for DEI. I'm not for quotas. Like, you should have to consider hiring a black person or a woman or whatever. You shouldn't be required to hire them, is what I believe. Like the Rooney Rule in the NFL. You should be required to talk to minority candidates. You shouldn't have to hire them. Maybe they're not the most qualified. Like, you being a woman doesn't make you qualified to sit on a board of directors. All right. Should the government ban surcharges tacked on the concert? Yes. That's Taylor Swift's cause, and I agree with her 100%. Should the technology of our financial system transition to decentralized protocol? What is it? I mean, who talks like this?
Should the technology of our financial system transition to decentralized protocol that is not owned or controlled by corporations similar to the internet? Actually,
bro, what the fuck did I just read? I don't even know what that means. Should the technology of our financial system transition to a decentralized protocol that is not owned or controlled by corporate? Yeah, I see not owned by corporation. I clicked that. I love that. Should the U.S. raise taxes on the rich? You asked me that. Yes. Should illegal immigrants have access to government subsidized health care? Yes, everybody should. We should all have the same health care. Should the U.S. build a wall on the southern border? No. Waste of fucking time and manpower. Should undocumented immigrants be offered in-state tuition rates at public colleges with their residing state? Yeah. I want immigrants going to college. Enrich themselves. Should the government require employees of large businesses be vaccinated from COVID? At this point, no. Because COVID's over. Should the federal government increase funding of health care for low-income individuals, Medicaid? Yes. They should put that shit on steroids, not cut it. Do you support the Patient Protection Act? Dude, I support Obamacare. Yeah, but we need more than Obamacare. Way more than Obamacare. Obamacare is weak. Should the government mandate large tech companies share their algorithms with regulators? Fuck yes. I want those algorithms. You should share them with the public too. Should the government implement stricter regulations on crypto? Fuck yeah. Because it's all scams. Should artists be held to the same reporting and disclosure requirements as hedge funds? Artists. When selling their artwork? Yeah. I mean, everybody should. It's hard to click. Should the government increase or decrease military spending? Okay. I think military spending should stay about exactly where it is. Or maybe even less. Maybe 10% less. I think we should decrease the amount of military spending. Decrease by 10%. Like my ears did prick up. Is it ears perked up? When they talk about $1 trillion military budget, but I don't think it's time for that. Not at this time in history. It's not time for $1 trillion military budget just yet. You should probably wait about 20 years for that, at least. I think about all the technology we could get out of that, but man, $1 trillion at this point in history, it just does not seem feasible. Like you just spend that money here. $200 billion more? No. Should the United States provide military supplies and funding Ukraine? Like, save the $1 trillion military budget for when we're actually close to having a war with China. You know what I mean? Like, it's not time for it. We don't need $1 trillion military budget right now. I still believe we have military superiority over China as it stands. There's no reason to put it on steroids like that. Should the United States provide military supplies and aid to Ukraine? Yeah. Should the U.S. remain in the United Nations? Yeah. Should the United States, or should the government eliminate all traffic? What? Eliminate all traffic laws? Are you kidding me? This is libertarian shit. Should the government impose stricter fuel efficiency standards? Yup. So that's environmental. Why is it not environmental? Should the government require all new cars to be electric or hybrid? Yeah. Like right now, starting right now. Should there be stricter or more strict? I can't read. Slow down, Kush. Should there be restrictions on current processes of purchasing a gun? Yeah, you should have a universal background check. Should victims of gun violence be allowed to sue firearm manufacturers? Yeah. Should teachers be allowed to carry guns? Fuck no. Should the government require children to be vaccinated for preventable diseases? You know why I say no on the teachers carrying guns? Because they do studies. Like when a gun is in the house, it's more likely you're going to use that gun on yourself or a family member than an intruder. And that goes the same for the classroom. It's more likely that the teacher's going to blow their brains out or shoot a student. Should the government require children to be vaccinated? Yes. Should the government allow commercialization of lab-grown meat? Yeah. Do you support the use of nuclear energy? Fuck yes. I love nuclear. Should the government apply higher reciprocal? What is this, a Trump question? Man, I don't believe in no reciprocal tariffs. That's retarded. Should the government exempt essential goods like pharmaceuticals from 2025 tariff increase? Ha! Should the government impose a baseline tariff for 10% on all imports from every country? No! That's stupid. You should only use tariffs to protect an industry you actually have. That called me crazy. Should the government use facial recognition technology to masturbate? No. Are you kidding me? There's a privacy issue, very important. Should the president be able to authorize military force against Al Qaeda? No. Without congressional approval? No. Should the U.S. assassinate suspected terrorists in foreign countries? No. But what if they label me a terrorist when I'm in a foreign country? How would you rate overall job performance of the current U.S. members of Equal Opportunity Commission, the EEOC? Way below it. Man, everybody's doing terrible in every administration, in every department in this administration. I don't have time to explain why. Man, I'm trying to get this done because we've been doing this for 18 minutes. This has got to end. How would you rate the job performance of the current president? He's horrible. The worst president I've ever seen. In 2028, okay, they're asking me what candidate I support. Wow, AOC, easily. Is Tim Walz on here? Of course not. Those are these Republicans. Ugh. Daniel Crenshaw, there's just Dan. I support AOC. AOC is the only one on here I support. Period. AOC is the only one I'd vote for. All right, very important. What is the reason why you would not vote for Pete Buttigieg? What? What are you trying to say? I'm homophobic? Excuse me? I never said I wouldn't vote for Pete. Well, I mean, technically did, but if everybody else in front of him died, yeah, consider him. I would vote for Pete Buttigieg. Fuck you mean? Why would? But they're trying. What answer are they trying to coax out of me because he's gay? What the fuck? Who gave the best reason for giving the current president way below? Okay, yeah, he's supporting the rich. He isn't focused on the right things. Man, like, I agree with all of this. Man, fuck, is this too? Which qualities are more important to you in a candidate? Okay, this is actually fun. Common sense, morality, intelligence, integrity, consistency, determination, transparency, honesty, effectiveness, courage, leadership, commitment, vision, diplomacy. It's everything. I want all of that in a candidate. I want a candidate to reflect me. And I possess all those qualities. All right, let's see what we get here. I was about to check my email on camera and shit. All right, what is this? No thanks. Okay, so I got 92% Democratic, 91% Green, 90% Socialist, 89% Women's Equality. All right, I'd be a member of the Women's Equality Party. I could see that. If they let dudes in. What is this? What? They think I should vote for Gretchen Whitmer? Big Gretch? I wouldn't be adverse to that. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Cornel West, J.B. Pritzker, Bernie Sanders. They know me too well. That's perfect. I don't know about Gretchen Whitmer, but I wouldn't not vote for her. She's better than every Republican. All right. What? My number one ideology is women's rights? Wow. I feel very honored to have that. All right, environmentalism, feminism, Marxism, communism, Saint-Simonianism, social libertarianism. I agree with all this. All right, guys, that's it. Sorry I got so long, but I'm not sorry. You got to have an attention span. You got to be smart. It's not hard to be smart. You just got to not be a lazy piece of shit. See ya.